Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Cactus Lounge. I am Donna Reed. I traveled in 1976A, and today my guest is Kirk, aka Chip, or Chip, aka Kirk. I don't know which way he goes. And you pronounce your last name Merrett? Is that
That's right.
correct? Okay. And Kirk is one of the people who this year won an award as an everyday hero. Is that correct?
Mm.
In Limerick. And so graciously agreed to participate. Welcome, Kirk.
Thank you, Donna.
And I'm in Tucson. Where are you this morning?
Uh,
Afternoon.
yeah, I'm in a suburb of Toronto.
A
I'm
suburb
at
of.
work, hence the official stuff in the background.
Ah, okay, okay. You got like, as compared to my really cool, somebody made it for me backdrop.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, welcome. So you first traveled in 1985. Can I ask, were you young? Were you 18? Had you been to college? Like, tell me about your.
Yeah, sure. I was 19 when we started, turned 20 shortly after. So I had done 1 year of university, um, and so it was still on. It's definitely on the younger side to
Yeah.
travel. It was a great year. We traveled. My cast was fortunate. We went to Europe for um, 3.5 months till Christmas, and then back in the States for a while, and then we were in Japan for a couple months. And
Wow, you had
it
quite a
was
tour.
yeah,
Yeah.
we were quite fortunate.
So because we were the American bicentennial of 75 going into 76, when we got there, I don't care what anybody says, they want to know where their tour is going to go, right?
Sure.
And we were like the United States, the United States, the United States, and then either Mexico or Canada or Venezuela. Like, so our international piece was so different than those who traveled a lot of other years. So, yeah, you were fortunate. Had you been out of the country? Had you been out of, I'm assuming you were born in Canada.
Yeah. I was born in the Toronto area and had done some vacation travel with my family, but never Europe. It was
Okay.
more Caribbean kind of stuff. So it was certainly an eye opener.
That's
Lots of
neat.
fun.
That's neat.
When we started the year, Japan wasn't even on the radar for any of the cast. I think it
Oh,
developed. We found out mid, you know, midterm in our first term, and
okay.
so we were just lucky enough to that it fit, I guess, uh, our cast and what was already scheduled.
Nice. Nice. Um, so had you seen a show, like did the cast perform in Toronto or something or in your hometown? How did you learn about Up With People?
Yeah, I guess when I was 13 or 14, I saw the show here in Toronto, and um, was captivated by the energy and I was a bit of a singer and theater person, and it just grabbed me for sure. And then of course I didn't hear about it for years, put it on the back burner, and
Right.
then they were doing an Ontario tour my first year of university, and so it was like, obviously I have to do this.
How did
Uh,
your parents feel about you starting college, start going to university, and then saying, "Oh, I think I'm going to go do this other thing"?
No hesitation,
Oh,
no
that's
fear
good.
whatsoever. Yeah, they were more end up with people than I was. So they saw that, they took me to the show. In fact, they were originally, the show that we saw was at a part of the Canadian National Exhibition, and so it's one of those, um, you pay one fare and you go in, and they Up With People was doing like 2 or 3 shows a day for like a week, and
Ah,
yeah, my parents dragged me back, I think 3 or 4 times
oh my
to
gosh.
see it. So yeah, they
That's
were
fun.
more up with people than I was this time.
That's fun. So, did you travel more than 1 year, Chip, or
No, just the 1 year.
just the 1 year? Okay. Come back home, go back to university?
Yeah, I went right back to university, back
Okay.
into the swing of things, and completed that journey.
And were you did Up With People affect at all what you majored in or change anything about kind of the direction that you went?
It did. The first year at university was kind of a general arts program. I don't know if you can even do that anymore.
That's
But
like I don't know what I'm going to
yeah,
do.
exactly. And so I was still figuring it out. And so while we were on the road, it kind of came to me that, okay, I liked business and I liked people. And so the perfect combination was human resources. And so I have made my career in human resources and did finish the schooling and et cetera at that time. And
Yeah.
it was so it certainly did help me figure that out.
Was your college also then in the Toronto area, or did you go further away in the country?
Relatively close. It's
Okay.
near Niagara Falls, which is
Yeah.
uh,
The
but
other
just
side of the
an hour and
lake.
a half outside of Toronto.
It's like,
Yeah,
yes.
the other side.
My Quebec clients were they're from Quebec and they've owned a condo here for like 15 years and they had never been to Niagara Falls. And I'm like, you've been all over the world. And they said, yeah, we felt like it was time, you know. So, so they went there. So this is personal interest for me. Do you speak some French? Did you learn any
I
French?
don't. I wish I did. You know, it, in
Mr.
Canada,
Canadian, come on.
everybody has to take French, but the way they teach French is just not conversational, and so it doesn't stick. And I
Yeah.
mean, that's my excuse. But
Yeah.
my daughter did a French immersion program and is is
Nice.
bilingual. Um, and
Nice.
I wish I'd had that opportunity.
Okay, that's fun. That's fun. So, human resources, I know you told me who you're with, and did you just get another award? Because I sent you a Facebook friend request and you just seem to have something new
Oh,
posted. What?
just last week, yeah. So I
Yeah.
work for Hyundai. I work in head up HR for Hyundai Canada,
Okay.
and yeah, just last week we won an award for the team HR Team of the Year in Canada. So yeah, so very
Ooh. So, HR Team of the Year for Hyundai or HR like
no
and
for Canada.
for Canada?
It was
Wow,
at the Canadian HR Awards.
that's neat.
Hmm.
So what makes you special? Like why do you think you're good at that?
Oh, I work with an amazing team, and they make great things happen. And the company has had a lot of success based on some of the things that we've implemented. So it's just a fabulous team here.
That's nice. That's nice. So you said you mentioned a daughter. Married, kids? What's that
Yeah,
status?
married 34 years, and uh, I have a son who's 27, and Kyle, and Ella, who's 22.
Okay. Okay. And is there ever a piece of you that like did your kids ever talk about Up with People or did you ever think that they might do it if the program was still around or
Yeah, in fact, my daughter was scheduled to attend one of the summer programs a couple of years ago, and I think it was just before they pulled the plug. So she was scheduled to go,
Ugh.
all excited, like 2 weeks before,
Oh,
and it didn't happen.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I was
Uh,
really excited for her to have some of the Up with People experience,
right,
but
right.
unfortunately not.
Last night I met up with an alumni originally from Albania, and we had met. She was part of World Smart in 2000 something. Yeah.
Mm.
And we had served on the Board of Governors together, and we haven't seen each other for 21 years. And so she was young, she was single, now she's got two kids and one's 16, and all those things. But her colleagues were sitting at the table with us. And she happens to work out of the Washington, D.C. office for the group that was there. And we started talking about this and how we knew each other because everybody came up to me assuming I was part of this convention. She got, no, no, and I'm not wearing a name tag. And
Hmm.
everybody said, you did what? With what group?
Yeah.
And and because World Smart was very different than Up with People, There was even, kind of a back and forth conversation with these other at the table about the similarities and the differences between the two programs.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, not that much difference when it was all said and done. A little
Yeah.
bit emphasis on the show and stuff. So it was really fun to like listen to the people she works with and look at her and just be like, I
Right.
didn't I didn't know you did that, kind of thing. So all right, so I am not at my house, so I don't have the little thing here. Tell me about your nomination for the Everyday Hero Award and what that means, and why you were awarded this award.
Well, the Everyday Hero Award means a lot to me especially, because I used to sing that song in our show.
There was an
And
Everyday Hero song?
yeah, yeah,
What? Come on.
yeah.
I know
There's,
almost all the shows. I don't know an
ah,
Everyday Hero song.
yeah.
All right,
And
hum a
Beat
few
of the
bars.
Future. Beat of the Future.
What?
Check it out.
I will. I'll have to go look it up.
So it meets extra special for me, but uh uh there were a number of people. One of my castmates pulled together a nomination, Elizabeth, uh worked with my wife Michelle to
Huh?
get support from many of the organizations that I work with, and so it's a lot of volunteer work. I coach a special needs hockey program. My wife and I just started up a Special Olympics basketball program last year. Um, the I'm the treasurer and a board member on a homeless youth homeless organization here in the Toronto area. Um, I've been fortunate to do a lot of diversity work as part of my job,
Okay.
um, and that's been fantastic in getting me involved in some other things in the community as well. So I've a couple of awards on that side, like a ally of excellence, and from the Women's Executive Network, and the Auto Canadian Auto News recognized me as a notable champion of diversity. Uh,
Interesting.
and kind of the most personal one is the or most life changing one, I guess, is that we with I headed up a group here in Toronto that brought in an Afghan refugee and who's making a new life here in Canada.
Wow.
So
Did you do
those are the
that?
components.
Did you do it through a church or what was the avenue for that?
Yeah, there's a local organization that I used to chair, actually, called Aura, and it works with local churches to bring in. It does all the paperwork and the government contacts to facilitate the sponsorships.
Nice. So I wanna dig deeper into diversity, which may or may not get me into trouble. But because of our world right now,
Mm.
and because of what you already said you did, do you feel like at what stage, at what age, what did diversity mean to you? Did it mean those with special needs? Did it mean race or skin or religion, or has it always just been kind of a lump to you? Because that's a big word. That's a big
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And I guess I think like many people, we had, sort of this vague idea what diversity was, but it really things really hit home with the killing of George Floyd in 2020, and
Mm.
it was a huge eye opener for me, after really making me think through a lot of things and talking to people. And in my organization here, we did a lot of really good work, to help us think through these things. And um, so it became more than more than just how I carried out my life. I really had to think through, um, my approach to things, and
Mm.
it really made me evaluate a lot of the way I thought. Um, but so we're always learning though, right? We're always
Yeah.
changing, and I certainly was not a very as a young person was not very open to different things. I think Up With People certainly helped me along that way. Um, and exposing me to people and new ways of thinking that opened my mind to
Yeah.
things. And I have a lot of really good friends from my cashier who I credit for helping me see things differently.
Yeah. I I interviewed, so someone's interview was just posted. Her name is Liza, and she started a coffee company, which I can't think of the name of right now. And it's just about a year old, but specifically to hire those who are, I guess in today's jargon, differently abled, you know?
Hmm.
And down in Tucson, we have an alumni now who I believe he's in charge of donations for Gospel Rescue Mission on a corporate level. And on the 26th, which is only 4 days from now, they are opening a coffee shop across from the mission for those who have completed the program and for people to move up in life and stuff like that, and then still be a fundraiser for the mission and stuff like that. It feels like in the midst of what I'm just going to call a crazy time in the world, my world, our world,
Hmm.
that hearing about these things is so nice. And do you know, Chip, do you know Mia Hansen? Have you ever
Yeah.
met Mia? Okay. Do
Mhm.
you know that she's done the basketball thing down here? Are you aware of the
No,
program?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find the name of it. It's probably all over her Facebook page, and it's a wheelchair and stuff. And they've played, and and it's male and female combined and stuff. So when you were saying what you did, I was like, oh, you and Mia should talk, you know? So yeah, from that perspective. So do do you feel like your your heart, clearly you must be heart driven to do some of these things, outside of the job and raising the kids. Do you feel like that was an evolution through life? And like you were just saying, like you saw one thing and then that created the next thing, which led to the next thing
Mm.
and has allowed you to be deeper involved in things?
Yeah, there's certain parts or certain things that happen in my life that kind of moved me along. My parents are great role models for giving back. That was, and by giving back, I mean time and money,
Right,
right? Not
right.
everybody has money. If you don't
Nope.
have the money, then give of your time.
Then cook a meal. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I great role models that way. And so as a young professional, um, I was looking for ways to get involved and give back. So that's how um, I, I sort of fell into this organization that helps called Aura that
What does
helps
AURA
churches.
stand for?
Uh, Anglican United Refugee Alliance. So
Anglican United.
yeah, the Anglican is obviously the
Yeah.
church, and then United is another
Yeah.
church here in Canada.
Yeah.
So this
Refugee.
they kind of came together to create this organization, and even though the organization Aura didn't uh, wasn't religious based in the sense that they
Hmm.
were there to facilitate sponsorships, but they did it for churches.
Okay, got
And
it.
so I got involved with them, and as things happen, you get more and more and more involved, and I ended up being the chair of that organization um, for eight years, uh, and it was just incredible to see the life changing um, opportunities that were presented to people. In Canada, we have kind of a unique system where you you can sponsor, and you are on the hook. The sponsor
Oh,
group is on the hook for the first year of
okay.
the person or the family's expenses.
Okay.
Basically, everything outside of healthcare. So
Wow.
uh, obviously clothing, food, place to live, and so there's a big obligation to seeing to looking after these people and setting them up for success, so that
Yeah,
when after that year that
they're able
they're
to move
ready
forward.
uh, to look after themselves. So much of that first year often is language training.
Right, right.
Yeah, so that they have a good start to living here in Canada. Um, but that's anyway, that was a great opportunity for me, and then it led to some other things. But my on the Special Olympics side and special hockey, my son has an intellectual disability, and
Okay.
so Kyle is an amazing guy, and kind of as we got him involved. He has a lot of energy, so we always had him in multiple sports, and he lives for sports to this day. Go Blue Jays! Uh, and so getting involved with him in hockey and eventually taking over the coaching of his hockey team has been a great experience for me. All the team members have, different they're different levels intellectually,
Yeah.
and but they're a fun group, and so we're just
So,
starting that up in a couple of weeks for this season.
so I grew up pretty close to you across Lake Erie. I grew up in a farm about 13 miles south of Lake Erie, yeah, in a farm town. But often Cedar Point, people, and I know if we went across the water, but I also helped make trophies for Pee Wee tournaments in
Oh,
Detroit. Yeah.
yeah.
I would go, so all the trophies would be ready, and then we would just have to engrave their names and put them on them and stuff like that. So I spent a reasonable amount of time with some friends who had a trophy company up there, early on. And ironically, my 38-year-old who traveled and up with people in 2013, his keychain is still the little engraved hockey stick.
Oh,
That
yeah. Right
he's had
on.
this since he was 16 years old. Unless he lost it, but last I knew, he still had that. That was because we had put his name on it at one of the hockey tournaments, or like that. All right, so I want to go back to up with people. Some of the questions that I asked when I first started these was, is there any place that you went that you would just love to go back to?
Well, I haven't been back to Japan, and yeah, that was amazing opportunity for us. They actually split our cast in half,
Oh, okay.
and half went to the north of Japan and half went to the south. And we were there on with Coca-Cola. It was their 100th anniversary
Okay.
bottling in Japan.
Okay.
Um, but it's an amazing opportunity that, of
Yeah,
course, as a 19-year-old, the world was different back then. You didn't have exposure like we do now
that's
to all
true.
these different
Right.
cultures. Um, and and living, obviously is up with people, staying with host families in a very different
Yeah.
lifestyle,
Yeah.
eating very different food.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
that's always one of the questions too. Is there anything you ate that you'd be like, I'm never having that again? Or, oh my God, I loved it?
yeah. So Japan was amazing, and I haven't been back. I work for a Korean company now, so I have been to Korea a few times,
Uh,
but they're different.
Pretty different. That's
Mhm.
that's interesting. I always say, as a really tall woman, I feel like if I go to Asia, I'm gonna be like a foot taller than everybody there.
Yeah.
It's like and blonde, up above everyone. So, you mentioned an Everyday Hero song. I truly gotta. What was the name of your show? Do you
Be to
remember?
the future.
Beat of the Future. And there was an Everyday. Lord, I worked at like 15 reunions here. I can't believe that I feel like I know these songs.
Well, they always do the same three songs at
Oh,
all
that's
reunions,
true.
right?
That's
So
true.
I never made the cut.
Yeah, It's funny because I get bored of that. Now, we always know like the last songs in the shows were always great, but
Hmm.
there was
Hmm.
always kind of a silly song in a show. And there was one like, "Hey, y'all, throw me the ball." It was a basketball one.
Oh
And there was
yeah.
"Give the Jukebox a Kick." And I'm like, those are the ones we should come back and do sometime. All the silly, fun ones that were in the show one year and then
Yeah.
out out for some reason. So, um, is there any place that you would like to go in the world that you haven't been?
Australia.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Just the other end of the world.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, I think there's a lot of commonalities or a lot of similarities between Canada and Australia. Both former
yep.
English
English
colonies,
colonies, right?
and although we we weren't we didn't start off as convicts here in Canada, which apparently is the history in Australia. But the being part of the Commonwealth and the size and some of the history we share, I think is unique. So that would be a place I'd like to go.
That's fun. So you were in Limerick this summer, correct? You went?
Yes,
And so this was your what, for
40.
40th? I was gonna say my 50th is next year, so I'm like, okay, 40th. How was the turnout for your cast?
Oh, we had 24 people
That's
from
awesome.
my cast. The other casts in our year were I think they were all under 10.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, we had a great turnout and just an amazing time. Oh, is
So
a
would you attribute that to a cast director or cast, whatever we call they call the cast rep that like just
yeah.
really have you guys always stayed kind of close?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, since Facebook was a
Yes.
great thing for for keeping in touch,
Yeah.
and we have a fantastic cash rep. In fact, she won an award in Limerick. This is Pam. Pam won the award this summer
Cast
for
rep.
cast rep. Mhm.
That's nice. That's nice. Ours we're talking about it, and everybody. So funny when you start feeling really old, you're like, well, it's not the way. I've told everybody, I said, you guys, it's at a college. It's not at a resort like we were at for all of our other reunions, and we're not all going to see each other in the hallways, and we're those kind of things. I
Mm,
said you have to wrap your brain around, but I said everyone that I know that has gone has enjoyed it. Like
yeah,
there's not been anybody that said, well, that was a waste of money, or
yeah.
anything like that.
Fabulous setup at in Limerick.
Was it? That's neat. That's
Yeah.
got part of the reason I wanted to ask you. Our cast had a call yesterday and I missed it, but they're talking about it. And I said, you guys, I've heard good things. It's just like everything else. Things change in the world and it's not the way that it was
Hmm.
before and stuff. Did you do any of the side trips, the little side things that you could do?
We did a as a group. We
Yeah.
kind of talked. We all talked months and months in advance. Said sort of planned out our week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, that was great that we did that.
That's neat. And did your wife go with you?
No, went solo.
Has she been to a reunion?
She's not been to an official reunion, but we did host a mini reunion at our home
Oh,
about
nice.
10 years ago. So she's had some exposure to the craziness, and she's
That's the
attended some
best way to
other.
get exposed is in the smaller groups.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I always would say that. So because of being in Tucson now and I've been here for a while, there was a lot of alumni here.
Mm,
And so people would get together and it's really funny when a spouse would be like, "Okay, yep, I did that one time. That's good."
yeah, yeah. Check.
Doing that. You're welcome, honey.
Yeah.
That I did that. So, well, as I wrap this up, first of all, congratulations on your award. I
Thank you.
I think that
And you won an
thank you.
award too.
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
hope they can recognize you in front of your cast next year.
Yeah, we talked about that. The truth is I love this. I just love getting to know the alumni. I love the stories. I love people, and And when you hear that an everyday hero, so that you know, and I know I've said this on these before, when I started this, I was thinking about the teachers anywhere, the teachers that every day are
Mhm.
working in children's lives and are making a difference in their community, not building a church somewhere necessarily or a school or whatever across the
Yeah.
world. It's like you working with a refugee family. It's an impact here. It may not be everywhere, right?
Mhm.
And that's what makes, I believe, so many everyday heroes that we don't know about, you know?
Right.
And
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 there are so many of those in Up With People, and which makes it ultra special to be recognized because I know there are so many people doing amazing things.
there are some really great things, and hopefully we can just keep doing, right?
Yes, that's
We
right.
can just keep doing. Well, any parting words, Kirk? Kirk, Chip,
Parting words of wisdom? No, I'm out of wisdom.
you're out of wisdom. You're out of wisdom. Well, thank you for making the time to do this. I really appreciate it. And I usually post things like 2.5 weeks apart from the other ones and things like that. So I will make sure that I let you know
Great.
when I make
Thanks
it
so much, Donna.
go live. Thank you. You have a great night.
Thank
Okay?
you. Take care.
All right.